welcome to Breeding to Win tonight, and yes, it's Cape Thoroughbred Sales Edition. It's the Cape Thoroughbred Sales Ready to Run sale coming up on Friday the 22nd. The gallops will take place in the morning, and then obviously we get a bit of time to view some of the yearlings and the 2-year-olds, and then go straight into the sale later on. Fantastic draft this year. Has been dubbed as one of the strongest catalogues in Ready to Run history, and we're going to find out a little bit more during the course of the show. We'll start the show, however, with Fiona having a chat with the CEO of Cape Thoroughbred Sales, Vian Smith.
With the sale at the end of the week, it's good to have a last catch-up with Vian Smith from CTS. We did have him on last week's show where we showed a few of the gallops and chatted to some of the vendors, but the Ready to Run sale is right here this week and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's have a final catch-up with Vian Smith. Vian, the final push, and it's really exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, very exciting. It's just a comedy with only a week to go before the sale, and the race day, of course, on Saturday, and everything seems to be in place. And Dalton and the team at Agri Expo are definitely the most dependable people in my life, so everything's absolutely on track at Durbanville Racecourse, and we're very much looking forward to hosting everyone.
Now, as we've said before, it's a particularly strong catalogue this year, and a bigger catalogue, some really lovely pedigrees.
Yes, you know, talk is cheap, but it may sound like we said this before, but you know, having spoken to some of the trainers this week, I truly think this is the strongest Ready to Run catalogue ever in South Africa, and I think the whole concept of Ready to Run has come a long way in South Africa. Whereas in the beginning it was maybe some of the leftovers, you know, of horses that weren't ready for previous sales or that had problems for previous sales, and then later it became, you know, somewhere to go buy a horse back and to qualify for a big race. The whole idea of pinnocking and for placing certain types of horses for the sale has really developed massively over the last number of years. And looking at the catalogue, it looks in many ways like a Cape Premier yearling sale catalogue if you just look at the pedigrees. And from the gallops that I've seen and from the comments that I've had from trainers and bloodstock agents and the like, we're very excited about what we're presenting.
Yes, as the Breeding to Win team, we've been really lucky enough to go around and chat to some of the vendors, to watch quite a lot of the gallops. And I'm quite impressed. It's not only a good catalogue on paper, but there's some lovely looking individuals with some beautiful actions.
Absolutely, and I think the skills involved and the skill of preparing a horse for the Ready to Run sale has also developed hugely over the last number of years. And there's some, you know, the vendors that we've got at the sale this year, most of them have been around for a number of years now, preparing horses for this type of sale. And I think it really shows in the way that these horses are galloping and the fact that these horses are truly ready to run. You know, the clues in the word, they are literally ready to run.
Yes, they're not only being well prepped at home, but we've had quite a lot of fun the last couple of weeks filming at Durbanville, so that these horses have been to the racetrack, they've seen what it's all about, and a lot of them look very forward going. Yeah,
absolutely, and there's a lot to race for. So these horses will all qualify for the new innovation that we have in terms of paying a bonus to winners of stakes races. The races, or the sale has produced so many stakes winners over the years, and there's no doubt in my mind that it will again produce a number of stakes winners this year. And the first 3 such stakes winners are going to get a 250,000 Rand bonus. And in the current environment where there's pressure from all perspectives, on stakes and just financially in general, to have the carrot of a 250,000 Rand bonus for winning a potentially listed race in a couple of months' time is, that's from a buyer's perspective, that's really got to tick a lot of boxes.
Yeah, it's a sale absolutely full of incentive for any first-time buyer. I mean, you've got the fact that the horse is going and ready to go into training, and all those sales races incentives as well. Yeah. So it really is a great sale to buy from.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, the clues in the word, they are ready to run. And the first juvenile races are literally a couple of weeks after the sale. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the graduates from the sale running, early December in juvenile races. And the first juvenile stakes race is on midday, which is on the 1st of February, and that'll be the first opportunity to get the big prize, to get the 250,000 Rand bonus.
Yeah, that's really quick, thinking that you're buying in November. But the catalogue jumps out at you because those top names are on the front page, horses that have been successful out of the sale.
Yeah, it's really been we've come up with a new theme every year in terms of the look and feel of the catalogue and our advertising and the media around the sale. And this year the focus really was on black type, and for both the Cape Premier yearling sale, which is in January, and this Ready to Run sale, it's astonishing the number of Group 1 winners and stakes winners that have been produced by these sales. So the artwork is a bit of a testament to that, and quite exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people look for their own horses' names on the covers of catalogues and advertisements.
Yeah, very exciting. Now, I'm looking forward to the week ahead. Obviously, the sale and the gallops are on Friday, but there's a lot happening and a lot surrounding the whole sale. And please just run us through what's going to be happening this week.
Okay, we feel that the one day, having the gallops in the morning and the sale in the afternoon really works to create a nice vibe, and everyone's there from early morning and everyone leaves late at night. So we're sticking to that recipe, despite having quite a number more lots this year than last year. So Thursday really is a crucial day in terms of viewing, and horses are all coming in on Wednesday at the very latest. So in terms of buyers and agents and trainers looking to view the horses, Thursday is the day to do that. So we'll be open for viewing early morning on Thursday and the whole of Thursday. Kuda's also doing a sundowner event on Thursday evening at Durbanville Racecourse, which is usually a festive event. We might even have Matthew Sham singing. And then Friday morning it's straight into the gallops. So the gallops start at 9 a.m. We'll do breakfast at the gallops as usual. I would imagine that gallops would probably go until close to 12ish, and then we'll just give the vendors an hour or two to just get their horses all cleaned up and ready for the sale, and then a last bit of viewing up until the start of the sale at 4 p.m.
Yeah, it's quite hectic, but I've no doubt CTS will be looking after everyone royally throughout that time with food and drinks, and you always put on such a good spread and a good show for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we set the bar high, and on that front, and we'll keep to that for sure. And then there's of course the race day on Saturday. So the graduates from last year's sale running for 2.5 million rand on Saturday. The race is going to be a little earlier this year, just to accommodate the Johannesburg trainers, where there's been one horse sickness case which has resulted in some restrictions as to how the horses can travel into Cape Town. So the race will be early. I think it's either race 2 or race 3. I haven't actually double checked. And yes, all connections to those horses will again be invited to Kenilworth Racecourse to enjoy the day on Saturday, and of course open to everyone. It's always a great day with some other nice features. The Concord and the Merchants on the same day. So a good day's racing on Saturday to close it off.
Yeah, it's a great way to end a very, very busy week. And in terms of interest, you must have had quite a lot of interest for the sale. I've certainly seen a lot of interest in the gallops, and wherever we've been on our travels looking at horses, there seems to be huge interest in the catalogue and the horses.
Yes, we have had very good interest. The table bookings are full. We've had to put in an extra couple of tables again. People do leave it last minute, so I'm sure there'll be some more travel bookings and accommodation bookings over the next few days. And for anybody that hasn't gone through the process yet, or still making a late decision to come down to the sale, we'd love to host you, and please just contact the office. Josie at the office, Josie Marez is the right person to speak to for travel and accommodation and inquiries. And we'll have a good mix again of the local buyers, the Western Cape buyers, buyers from upcountry and across the country, and then also good for international buyers. So the interest has been good.
And then, of course, if you can't make it to the sale, they will be able to see the gallops and the individuals in action on a screen or on their own sort of systems at home.
Absolutely. So on our website or via teddytrack.com will be the gallops will be there live, and then we'll have videos of the gallops attached to each of the lots on the website, and the sales also being streamed on our website and on teddytrack.com. So you are able to view without being at the actual sale, and there is the option of phone bidding. So just get in touch with Kerry Jack, who's our bloodstock manager, or with me, and we'll be able to arrange to bid on behalf of people on the phone.
Great stuff. So no excuses not to buy a top horse from this sale, going forward with lots of opportunities and incentives.
Definitely not. We look forward to seeing everyone there with checkbooks in tow.
Well, it's a super sale, one I always look forward to. It's again well planned this year, and as I said, I've seen some lovely horses in action, so I look forward to seeing you there at the end of the week. It's going to be a stressful week for you, but a very exciting one indeed.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for you.
Thank you very much, Ian. Always great to have Ian on the show. I'm really looking forward to this busy sales week with a lovely race day to finish it off next Saturday. I hope that everyone sells well at the CTS Ready to Run sale. Some certainly very, very nice horses out there for grabs.
We'll Drakenstein Stud have got a wonderful draft on this year's edition of the sale, and Jason May has prepared them. We find out a little bit more from Jason, and we also catch up with some of their prime lots on offer.
Jason May does all the pre-training and prepping for the sales out at Drakenstein, and once again this year he's prepped a very, very nice draft of horses. We've seen them work at Durbanville here this morning. They're going along really nicely with some super actions, and Jason's going to take us through those pedigrees. Jason, firstly, congratulations and well done on preparing a super draft. They're really going along nicely.
Thank you, V. Thanks for having me on the show.
Just got the 8 going, so we'll just have a chat about them all. Lot 158 is called Opera Swing. She's a filly by Oratoria.
She's a nice, very nice filly by Oratorio. Oratorio is currently winning. He's got lots of winners going through the divisions at the moment, and we're just hopeful. Yeah,
he's certainly in the news all the time, is Oratorio. Lot 21 is a colt, Vision of Fire by Visionaire.
Visionaire, very striking colt. He's got a long stride. Everybody at the stable likes him. That's the guy's pick, and also he did very well this morning.
And some beautiful breeding. Lot 51, he's a colt called Falcon. He's by Dynasty out of Lana Falcon.
Yeah, one of the treasure mares on the farm. We know what Lana Falcon did on the track. She's very dear to us. Nice Dynasty colt by her. Very robust colt, strong, nappy action, and yeah, we're looking forward to seeing him roll on the day. Yeah, I could see that this morning, a very nice looking sort. Lot 66 is another colt, Carlo Collodi, a philanthropist. Carlo Collodi is, I would call him, if we're talking rugby terms, he's the Lukanya that's in the Springbok team. He turns to pop up every day. Every week there's lots of improvement. He's certainly one we think he's got a long stride in action as well, and we like him a lot.
Lot 75 is another colt called Pacific Duke by Duke of Marmalade out of Pacific Dynasty.
Pacific Duke is the brother of Frank Lloyd Wright, which Justin thinks highly of, and we also think highly of him. And he's run second in the Langerman. Yeah, so very strong horse as well.
High hopes for him. Lot 123 is another colt called Royal Flush. Now he's by Captain L. We all know how good Captain L was.
Yeah, just get a smile over him because he would be the Cheslin Colby of the pack. He's just a pocket rocket, very fast colt. He's the last of the big Captain L colts on the sales, so we're hopeful.
Lot 28 is an unnamed filly. She's by King's Barnes out of Gracie Jones.
Yes, she didn't put a foot wrong in her gallop this morning. She was striding up very beautifully. Also, you know, we lost King's Barnes. What a sadness to the race industry. Because everything of him that they come out, hit the ground running, and we're really hopeful of as well of putting up a bold show on the day.
Yeah, King's Barnes was a great loss because he's done really phenomenally well on the track with what he did produce. Lot 40 is another colt, Duke of Leinster by Duke of Marmalade out of Irish Smith.
Yeah, big striding horse. He's a workman's type of horse. He just did everything what we asked him during the prep. No issues with him. Yeah, big striding horse.
Well, you've done a great job. Last year we came to see you at home at Drakenstein. You've got a super track there to work with, haven't you?
Yes.
And horse walkers and great facilities.
Yes, we like I said last year as well, we tend to mimic what the trainers do every morning. We try to stay to a program, and it's paying off. It's paying big dividends at the moment.
Yeah, and then you've been out to Durbanville a few times actually. Is this your third visit this morning?
This is my third visit this morning. The first time they were, but you know, looking at everything, and the second time we squeezed them a bit, and now obviously this morning you saw what
they were
patience.
More forward going, weren't they? And they weren't looking around too much. They were.
Yes, and it's just all patience. Let them do it by their pace, you know, and it's paying dividends again.
Well, I can see how much passion you've got for training these horses because you love your racing anyway, don't you? And the training side of things. And I'm sure you'll follow these horses wherever they end up.
I'll definitely follow them. When I've got my daughter into this as well. She's well, 11 months, and she absolutely, when the TV goes on the races, she jumps up and down on the couch. So yeah, I don't miss a race.
And you keep busy all year round because you've got your pre-training and your horses resting out on the farm as well.
Yes, I've got the spellers that comes back after the season and before the season. And it's lovely to see the girls back when you know that you had a little hand in the preparation to them, and then horses like Clouds Unfold, you know, what a story. I mean, she was there at the farm just a normal horse, and then she's become a superstar. same with the others. Do It Again, Oh Susanna, all these big names.
Yeah, extremely rewarding for you. I remember last time you said you also had a great success rate from the sales.
Yeah, they're currently up in the log. I've got 4 that's high up in the log, and I'm hoping for double in keys. When we saw him, it was called Tall Cotton. His name was Tall Cotton, but now they changed his name. So he's sitting at number 4 at the moment. Hopefully Mr. De Kock, with all the rage about the African horse sickness, well, hopefully it lifts, and he'll come down and give a positive showing in the race.
Yeah, great stuff. Well done again, Jason. You've really prepped a super draft. We'll look forward to seeing you next week at the sale and hope you sell well. They've got beautiful actions, they're nice looking individuals and beautifully bred. You've done a top job, and yeah, look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Always great to have Jason on the show. He is doing a fabulous job at Drakenstein. He has a great passion for these horses that he's prepping for the sales, and he loves his horse racing, so lots of effort is going into it, and really has got a super draft going to next week's sale.
Well, Clive have enjoyed some good success with the Ready to Run sale. They've basically had runners in nearly every single running of the Ready to Run race subsequent to the sale. This year they've got a very strong draft that's been prepared by Julia Pilbeam at her Suttendale estate. John Costa tells us more.
Claverflay always have good drafts for sales, and of course they've got a very good draft going to next week's Ready to Run sale. Some of them have been prepped at Suttendale, some elsewhere, but a very, very nice looking bunch indeed. Some nice stallions amongst them, and John Costa's taking the time out today to chat to us about his draft. John, from what I've seen of the ones that are at Julia Pilbeam's, they're moving on very, very nicely and very forward going.
Yeah, very smart fee. Julia does a wonderful job. She's well known in the industry for it, not only for the Ready to Run sales, but she preps a lot of horses for a lot of owners and different trainers, and always does a great job. So yeah, very excited to have a bunch with her.
And I must say, before we go into the catalogue, once again you've got some lovely stallions amongst your bunch.
We have fee, you know, a lot of these horses were pinhooked horses, so we concentrate on the stallions, we concentrate on what the horses look like. And we try and buy horses that are athletic type horses, and I think once you see them and once they gallop, then you'll see that's been our motto over all the years. Yeah.
Yeah, well, as I said, I've seen a few of them at Durham, and they really do look fantastic. But without further ado, let's go through a few. I know you've selected a few to chat about. We'll start with lot 43, Vercingetorix. What can we say? He's proved himself as a top stallion already in the early days.
He has. He's done fantastically well. He's currently lying second on the 3-year-old size list. He's had 15 individual winners of 23 races, which is awesome. And I think Dean Canama has got a very, very smart horse in African Warrior. I think he's going to be a big runner in the Guineas. So Vercingetorix looking very well. This particular colt out of a Jetmaster mare last year, the 2018-2019 season. Jetmaster once again came to the fore, champion broodmare sire, sire of 14 individual black type winners of 23 races. Amassed 30 million rand in stakes, which was almost double to the second stallion. So a colt like this, he's got it all. Very good sire, great broodmare sire, and he's got a good shape. He moves very well. He's a really nice individual.
Yeah, very good looking sort indeed. Lot 52 is a coup de grace. Now, you've got quite a few on the sale by coup de grace, and of course we know coup de grace is by the famous Tappet. What a wonderful stallion he's been in the States.
No, he's been, I read the other day that they say of the last 50 years in America, he's been the breed shaping stallion of America. He's with our dear friend Anthony Beck at Gainesway. But the great thing about Tappet now, apart from him being champion sire 3 years in a row and breaking all kinds of records, his sons have started exceptionally well. So Tapizar is leading sire of the third crop sires in America. He stands at Gainesway. And Constitution is the #1 freshman sire in America at the moment. So coup de grace being by Tappet out of a Stormcat mare, and we know what a great broodmare sire Stormcat is. I think he's a very, very exciting stallion for South Africa. And Anthony is as enthusiastic about it. He owns a quarter of the horse. And he's always told me that this was an extremely talented horse. We know that he was the fastest horse in America, over 1,300 meters. So he produces a really flashy type. They look quick. I'm very, very excited about the coup de grace, and there's been a lot of positive talk about them out there as well.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of things in social media about how well Tappet has been doing, and of course coup de grace is a really, really good-looking individual himself.
He is. He's flashy. He's a golden copper colour, lots of white, big white face. He really stamps his stock. He throws a lot in that look like him. So yeah, now it's, they've got to go out and do it on the track, but everything looks good at this stage. But this particular filly looks very, very quick. I know she's been through the pens already, and she is in line and ready to run one of those first 3 250,000 Rand juvenile races that CTS have put on. So this filly, I think, looks outstanding, and I think she's got a good chance of becoming a really early runner.
Yeah, lots of incentive to buy her, ready to go. So you've got those sales races are fantastic, aren't they? That puts a real extra incentive in the race.
Yeah, good luck to, fair dues to CTS. I think, whenever you're buying a horse and you know that you've got a really good chance of going in on a 250,000 Rand juvenile race already, there's certainly a lot of incentive to participate.
Yeah, certainly on to a winner. Lot 69 is another coup de grace, and that's out of a natural woman mare who's a winner in Ireland. So that's also a nice form line there.
Yeah, this is an international pedigree. The second dam won 10 races. She won in UK, she won in France, she won in Germany. It's a tough old UK family, and I think they should like her.
Nice to have a little bit of overseas blood in the game as well. Lot 86 is a captain of all, and that's out of Quest for Gold.
Yeah, looks, this is a very, very smart colt, and Julia's very, very excited about him as well. Captain of all, champion freshman sire last year, which was awesome. Quest for Gold is a really, really good filly. She won 7 races, including a listed. She's already produced a listed race winner in Chariot of Gold, and Chariot of Gold is by no means finished. She's with Sean Terry, and this is the great family of Group 1 sire Pomodoro. But this colt, huge action, big set of quarters, really, really classy looking horse. I think he'll be popular.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice, strong sort. Then we move on to lot 98. That's another Vercingetorix. I mean, as we said, Vercingetorix is really sort of setting the tracks alight already, and a horse to look forward to.
Yeah, and this particular horse is an outstanding looking horse. He's got balance, he's got panache, he's got incredible action. A lot of people have earmarked him from looking at him on the website as well. Out of Schism, who's a listed race winner of 3. The second dam is Wild Wolverine, who's also a 5-time winner, listed race winner. And she produced Gone Wild, who won 6 races in a listed race, and Gone Wild produced Loba's Legend, who won the SA Classic and is now racing for David Ferraris in Hong Kong. So this particular colt, again, by a top stallion out of a mare that could run, and he looks great himself. Also the family of Pine Princess, who won the SA Oaks. He has genuinely got it all. Yeah,
once again, it goes back to say that there's a lot of value to be had from some of these horses at this sale.
Absolutely.
Lot 109, a What a Winter, and that's out of Splashdown. Looks to be a good sort going forward nicely.
Very good looking filly, and we know what a Winter's done already. He's had massive books of mares lately at a fee of 75, so it just shows you the breeders are still well in with him. 47% winners to runners last year. That's really, really good. And the second dam is by Complete Warrior. So a lot of speed in this filly. She looks fast. And What a Winter has proven that he can throw a really good filly. Top class filly.
Good lookers, aren't they? And they're doing well. Lot 136, another coup de grace. This one's out of Western Smoke, and really, really built for speed.
He's definitely built for speed, and we don't even have to look any further than Linkman. Half brother to Linkman, champion 2-year-old colt. He's won over 1.7 million in stakes. So again, built for speed, built for those 3 juvenile races.
Lot 146, another coup de grace. This one's out of Tambarain, and also looks to be another nice sort.
Yeah, look, Fee, this is an outstanding horse. He's got balance, he's got quality, he's got class, he's got a massive quarters. He looks like a dragster. He's out of Amber Plain, who won 6 races from 1100 to 1400. She produced 7th Plain, who's a dual Group 1 winner and our Oxford champion 2-year-old. So, you don't have to have rocket science here. The third dam is by Harry Hotspur. It's all there. It just talks speed. And this colt, for me, must be one of the super colts on the sale.
Yeah, going to be interesting to watch these go through the ring next week. And, of course, we've got the opportunity to see them gallop in the morning and then get to the sale in the afternoon. Not that much time for viewing. They've got to get there on the Thursday to view. Galloping on the Friday morning, it's going to be go.
Yeah, look, it's quite intense. But of course, when you watch them work, it gives you so much of an advantage. And we've done it before where they've worked 2 weeks before the sale, and that takes a little bit away from it. So working the day before and then having the sale the next day, I think works outstandingly well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching them go through their paces next week, because the Breeding to Win team, we've been lucky enough to be going to the gallops the last few Thursdays, and it's just lovely to see them, and they're improving the more times they go to the track and really going forward.
No, look, it's a wonderful concept. The last ready-to-run sale, the BSA ready-to-run sale, I think, selling a horse there for over $1 million was really good for the industry. It just shows you that, there is still a bit of confidence out there, which is what we need. We know times are challenging at the moment, but we've got to work on the positives, and we've got to do whatever we can do to ensure that we produce the horses correctly and that the buyers like what they see.
So we've had a good chat about most of the lots that you're sending to the sale, but you've got 14 going, and as I said, you must be quite happy with them as a draft. They're a strong draft.
Yeah, it's when you pick these horses yourself, it's extremely satisfying. Some of them improve more than you expect, others don't improve as much, but at least you give yourself a chance, and we've come to the sale before and we've had really good success from the sale, so we're very confident on the horses. And, now we've got to get out there, assist buyers, put syndicates together, and ensure that everybody who participates has fun, in the game, and that's very, very important.
Yeah, and the sale's on the Friday. We've got the race day on the Saturday to just see what came out of the previous sale, which is really good fun, isn't it?
Well, it's great because, every person who's got a runner in the race the next day is in with a chance. So, there's always excitement about that, and anyone can win it. And, if you haven't got a ticket, you can't win the money.
Yeah, and, as we've said before, so much incentive to buy from this sale with these races, and you only have to look at the front of the catalogue to see the big names that have come out of the sale.
Exactly, Fee, and I do believe that this is probably one of the best catalogues CTS has ever put together. So that in itself is exciting. So you'll have, like anything else, you have the established stallions, and then you have the new guys on the block. And if one of the new guys should come out and win it, well, that's, that is just so exciting for whoever owns the stallion and obviously who owns the horse. Yeah,
well, we've said all along for this sale, it's a nice, strong catalogue, and it's a bit bigger than usual. Hence, people must try and get there on Thursday to view the horses, and the gallops will be on the Friday. And from what we've seen in the flesh, beautiful horses going forward on the track. So really looking forward to seeing you there, John, at the battlefield. I'm sure it's going to be a fabulous sale, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Fee. Appreciate it.
Always lovely to have John Costa on the show, giving us all his information on a draft that looks really, really good going forward into next Friday's sale.
Well, Normandy Stud, well, you've got to almost dub them as ready-to-run specialists. They have a fantastic draft each and every year, and their runners come through and really are competitive, both before the ready-to-run stakes and also during the race itself. Oscar Folks is heading up this operation now, and he's got a wonderful draft, and he chats to Fiona about the draft that Normandy have on offer.
Once again, Normandy Stud is supporting the ready-to-run sale to be held here at Durbanville towards the end of the month. They've got a lovely large draft, and we've seen some of them go through their paces this morning. Oscar Folks is with me to have a chat about this lovely looking draft. Oscar, they've galloped well this morning, haven't they?
I couldn't be happier. I'm really so delighted with the way they've changed. And, some of them, obviously we've bred them, others we bought there was one colt we bought as a weanling, others we bought as yearlings. And you don't know exactly how they're going to change when they start have a ride on their back and start going to the whole exercise program. But yeah, I'm really, really happy.
As I was watching them go through their paces, obviously some are a little bit more forward than others, but it's quite nice because you had them going single file, so they'll be ready to do that on the day of the gallops.
Yes, look, we've done this for many years, and every year we try and do it a bit better than before. And so we try and select the horses more carefully, because there's no point bringing a slow animal to ready to run. They've got to be worth that investment. So we've selected carefully. I'm not saying we get it right every time, but so there's that part, and then the other thing we can control is how the horses have been prepared. And the rest obviously is up to what the market does. And but yeah, they're just, some are amazing, and others are not that they're not amazing, but they're just, by comparison, they look like they're slightly more in the shade, but just fantastic draft of horses, I think.
Yeah, naturally some are a little bit more forward, but I saw some really lovely actions going by. And looking at the catalogue, it's a super catalogue, and you've got some top pedigrees, and you're represented by some really good stallions.
Yeah, we've so obviously it starts with the stallions, I think, and so we have 8 Queraris, 4 by Give Me the Green Light, a Trippy, 2 Dynasties, a Silvano, the last Captain Noel filly ever to be sold at auction in South Africa. So, yeah, we've ticked that box, hopefully. The other thing we've done is, wherever the horses have been on sales before this one, we've paid the owner's premium, so they have a chance of earning not just all the ready-to-run incentives, but also some of the BSA incentives. There's some horses that qualify for the KZN Millions race, and so you can go, if you can't get the right horse, you can go ka-ching, 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 even though the stakes have gone down.
Yeah, that is a great incentive to buy one from your draft, and you've been so successful at this sale in the past. It's really been a good sale for you.
It has. Look, 20 or 30 years ago, we might have sent horses to ready to run because it's the last chance to sell them. Not all of them were of that. I mean, we had amazing horses like Knife Edge and Quick Wit, but more recently, especially with the costs being what they are, you can only send a horse that you think is worth the investment. So, you know, the likes of Sergeant Hardy and Wonderwall and Bishop's Bounty, and there's so many of them that have come from our drafts. And like, for instance, Barrack Street is still, you know, racing well in Mauritius as a 5-year-old. Delia's Delight has won her 7th race as a 5-year-old. So even though we've prepared them for a sale early in their careers, and there's some research which suggests that this kind of preparation actually makes horses sounder for longer, but they have a long racing career ahead of them, and I think it's because of the way we've prepared them.
Yeah, this is certainly a sale that's got to be respected. Some top horses have come out of it, and it is lovely as well to purchase something that you can see is going on and ready to go into training.
Yes, I think it's a no-brainer. Now, I mean, it's kind of becoming a cliche that I said the ready to run is a no-brainer, but you're paying the same prices at a yearling sale. You can watch them gallop. There's extra money to be earned, and they're really nice horses. I mean, I'm not saying that we have the best draft here, but I'm sure everyone else has gone through the same process we have.
Yeah, I must say the catalogue is just going from strength to strength. It's a very, very good catalogue on the whole this year.
Yes, and I think also it doesn't look like there are that many horses that are here just to be qualified for the race. Our horses are here to be sold. We've got school fees to pay. There's none of that business of I want to qualify for a $1.25 million race.
Yeah, well, we're in the final push because the sale is now in a couple of weeks' time. I assume that's probably their last grass gallop here at Durnville, and they'll just tick over now and be ready to come to the sale.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's going to be really exciting, yeah. Oscar. I look forward to seeing you there, and I hope Normandy sells really well once again.
Thanks, Fee.
Thank you. It's lovely to have Oscar on the show again. Normandy does have a very, very strong draft going to the sale on the 22nd of November, and we look forward to seeing them there.
We're here at the Vaughan Marshall Stables, and wonderful to have Captain of Stealth behind me, and we'll carry on now going into depth with our CTS Ready to Run. Next up, we're going to chat to Jane Thomas's draft, and she's got a wonderful draft once again. She's also very, very professional in preparing horses for Ready to Run sales, and she submitted some photographs of her lot, and we'll take you through some of those pedigrees.
Far End are sending a smashing draft to the Ready to Run sale next week, well prepped by Jane Thomas. They are not to be missed. Lot 4, Willow Express by Willow Magic out of a Western Winter mare, Del Monaco, is an athletic, flashy colt. Lot 17, Royal Wedding, a filly by Lingari out of a Fort Wood mare, Festive Style. She is a big, striding, rangy filly. Lot 80, an early precocious type with a good hind quarter, is by Willow Magic out of the Argosy mare Plum Choice. Lot 89, Variety Breeze by Top Stallion Var out of a Windrush mare. This filly has lots of class and is really ready to run. Lot 114, Global Town, a high-quality colt with a great easy action. He is by Global View out of an Al Mufti mare, Summertown. Lot 124, Burning Ice, is a Lingari colt out of an Eliodor mare, Tropical Snow. He is a well-balanced, strong colt with everything in the right place. Lot 129, Kievar, is a Kuwari colt out of a Var mare, Variat. He's a late foal who has taken the speed attributes from both his sire and dam sire, and he is a really classy sort. Lot 137 is a tough, typical oratorio with a massive engine and great stride. He is out of a Western Winter mare, West to East. Lot 142, Nils Olaf, is a colt by Global View out of a Var mare, Wounded Knee. He is a deep, strong colt with a good action. A lovely draft, and we wish Far End all the best at the sale.
We introduce to you our new Groom of the Month competition, where we invite all stud farms to nominate a groom that has excelled or played an important role on the farm. Email Fiona with the name and tell us why your groom has been selected before the 12th of the month. The winning groom will be interviewed by the Breeding to Win team and will receive a 4,000 Rand G-Fox clothing hamper. He will be announced on the last show of the month. We encourage all breeders to participate in this initiative and to support excellence in the workplace.
One of the biggest vendors on the CTS Ready to Run sale is Julia Pilgrim's Suttendale estate. They've got a wonderful draft. Let's find out more.
We're out here at Durbanville Racecourse once again to see the horses prepping for next week's sale. It's a glorious morning and we've seen some really lovely actions going past our camera this morning. Julia Pilgrim is with me once again. She's got a very large draft from her farm in Suttendale, and it's good to catch up with Julia with the last push for the sale coming up next week. Julia, it must have been a very, very stressful time for you. I think I've counted 42 on the sale.
42 stress? No stress. Lots of lovely horses, lots of lovely owners. The clients have been great. And today we came with our last group of horses, and who've been either immature or arrived late, and the group I was most worried about, and they just were fantastic, so I'm very happy with them.
We've been following you for the past few weeks coming out with your draft and working them, and I must say they all look like they're going forward very nicely.
Yes, they are. So we have a lot of late foals on our draft, a lot of November foals. And for example, lot 15, Ellis Island, he's by Elusive Fort from a very good family. He's practically born in December. Lot 43 is a Vercingetrix out of Jilnar. He's the most beautiful colt. He's got so much quality. That is also a very late foal. Lot 157, Elusive Fort, out of Call of the Hunt. That is a magnificent horse. He's magnificent, and you can't believe he's a November foal. But these horses they're going to take time. They are, as I say, late November, but for the astute buyer who can see where they're going to go, there are some bargains to be had here. Lot 5, Viceroy, he's by Duke of Marmalade from Richos Kraal. He floats. He's got the most wonderful action. He's out of Somers Mare. He's going to take some time. Lot 91, Last Respect, a captain of all, very athletic colt, a lovely action. His dam is a half sister to Bold Respect, also late November foal, going to take some time. There's a magnificent Visionaire, Lot 150, out of that very good mare Bardo. I mean, he's a lovely horse. You can't believe he's in a November foal. So, do your homework and have a look at those horses, and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've said all along when we've been doing the show for the sale, you will get your more forward sorts, and then you will get your ones a little bit backward, the late foals, but you've still got something exciting to work with. They're coming along nicely.
Yes, no, we really have. Of course, we've got our, we've got 3 siblings to Grade 1 winners, and we are very excited about them. Lot 155, our half-brother to Via Africa, that's by Water Winter. He is outstanding, that's all I can say. Watch him gallop, viewers will be able to see. And then lot 136 is a half-brother to Linkman, who is champion 2-year-old, and he galloped this morning. He has a superb action. He's by Coup de Gras, and we have been so happy with those horses. And he's got a divine temperament. He does everything you ask, and you watch out for him. And then lot 136 is also Coup de Gras out of Amber Plain, so also a half-brother to champion 2-year-old. Also has this lovely action on the grass. And these horses have got good minds, these Coup de Gras, we found, and I believe the trainers have been happy. And they're really worth looking at. I think they'll make nice 2-year-olds.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a really strong catalogue anyway, but your draft in particular, you've got some really good pedigrees, a great sort of range of stallions.
We do. So we've only got one Karari on the draft. It's a filly from Richos Kraal. She's lot 169, and she's been impressive. And when we've had she's not the biggest filly, but when we've had trainers out to the farm to see, everyone's commented on her and had a second look. We have a magnificent Give Me the Green Light colt, lot 160. yeah, very well-bred colt. He is absolutely magnificent. And then we've got 5 twice-over colts on the draft. Now everyone's keen on the twice-over colts, and you can really take your pick. It's very hard for me to pick one of them. They've got good actions. Some are slightly more advanced than others, but they're really worth looking at. I mean, Lot 131 has an outstanding action. Lot 22 is out of a Captain Almere freefall. That's from 10 Anderstud. That is much quicker. He looks an earlier type. So I'm very excited about them.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're quite relaxed about it all, because you've got a lot of horses on the sale, a lot as agent, obviously, but doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, no, it can be stressful, but you've got to look at what, obviously you'll have your little hiccups, you'll have a cough or this or an abscess or whatever, but you've got to try and do your work as early as you can, and that the horses have got some time if they have a little hiccup, and the clients will be very understanding, and my team, they just work really hard and they're very enthusiastic, but you've got to look at what you do right. You can't just worry about everything, something that goes wrong. You've got to look at the horses that are doing well and have to actually exceed your expectations, and there are plenty of those. So.
Well, I must say, our team were at your farm yesterday. You had people there to view, which was lovely. And of course, you've got a great setup with a good track, so that you've got the right setup to bring these horses along.
Yeah, we try and do most of our work at home. Obviously, here, often, like today, it's such a short time before the sale. I don't want the horses to do too much. If they jar up on the grass or something, you haven't got time to let any little niggle settle down. But the track has been in great condition. We actually haven't had any problems with horses coming back from the track. And we did make an effort this year to try and get trainers out to the farm. It helps us, obviously, here, if some trainers have seen the horses already, because it's quite busy. Thursday and Friday can be very busy showing days. And I appreciate the trainers making all the effort to come out to see the horses. But it was a really lovely, relaxed atmosphere. They got to see the horses in their own time. If they want to see a horse again, they could. And we really enjoyed having them, and I appreciate the effort they went to come out to the farm.
It's a great idea, because time is going to be limited once the horses come in here, because obviously the gallops takes up quite a big chunk of any viewing time.
Yes, I think Friday is going to be very hectic. We finish at 12, and by the time you cooled the horses down properly and looked after them and groomed them again, it's almost time for the sale to start. So if prospective buyers can try and come on the Thursday, it'll be easier for everyone involved, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the marquee's up now, and it's all happening. It's going to be next week. I'm sure you're going to get a nice break afterwards and a bit of relief, but certainly hope you sell well. You've certainly got a great draft.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I just thank my clients for all their support. They send us some wonderful horses and trust us with their babies once again. It's been an honour, and I just hope we can do well for them next week.
Yeah, and finally, you must have some really great staff out there, because I've seen the riders going past, some really good riders as well.
Yes, we have, and we've been with some of them, been with us for quite a long time now. For example, there's Ernest. When Stan Ellie closed, he came to us. And other very good work riders that used to ride in work riders races, but it takes a temperament to work with the babies, not full time. Every horse you get on is a new baby, and it takes a certain temperament, and these guys are so proud. They're so proud, and when they come here, then no one else may ride their horse. They want to ride their horse, and they've brought it on. They're proud of how they've got it going, and it makes a huge difference to producing a draft like this. People, they take responsibility for the horses that they ride, and if the horse isn't right, or it needs a different bit, or they need a different program or something, they contribute always, because they know the horses. So it's very much a team effort. And I've got the girls as well. They start at 5 in the morning, they finish at 6 every day. It's been like that for the last 3 months, and we're all looking forward to our holidays.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard work. All hands will be on deck here next week, but best of luck. I've loved following them doing their prep work at the gallops here at Durhamville, and I'm looking forward to it next week, and hope you sell really well.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Julia. Great to have Julia on the show once again. She has got a very large draft going to the Ready to Run sale. We very much look forward to seeing them all there and galloping and hopefully selling very well.
Limescroll Stud have just the 2 entries on the CTS sale. We'll take you through their pedigrees, and obviously we know what comes with Limescroll, where you get high quality individuals with great female lines to back them up as well, and these 2 individuals are no exception. Great to have them as part of the CTS sale, and this is what Limescroll have to offer.
Limescroll Stud are sending 2 to the Ready to Run sale, and they have certainly been well prepared by Sally Bruss and her team. Lot 97, Pato's Trip, is a trippy filly out of a Western Winter mare, Savannah Air. She is a tall, good-looking filly and very athletic. Lot 130, Vervain, is by the good-looking strong sire Vision Air out of a Go Deputy mare Ventura, who is very versatile from 1,000 metres to a mile. She is typical of the tawny red tribe, being smaller and deep-bodied with a big quarter, and she has a very good action. 2 lovely fillies, and we wish Limescroll a successful sale.
Justin from Mark's got a great eye when it comes to choosing individuals, and he's got a wonderful draft once again here on the Cape Ready to Run. Fiona catches up with Justin and he tells us a little bit more about each and every one of his lots on offer.
Well, the Ready to Run sale is finally upon us. It's happening on the 22nd of November, and there's some super drafts in the catalogue. It's a beautiful catalogue, and Justin Veermark has a really, really strong draft as well, and he's taken the time this morning to run through that draft with us. Justin, firstly, it's an impressive catalogue, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and big numbers this year. I think they're up 25 or 30 lots on last year, and as you mentioned, very strong catalogue, and it's going to be really, really exciting. I know some of the international buyers coming from last year and the guys at the Ready to Run sale last month as well, and this sale just keeps developing each year, so it's always a good week and weekend, and I'm sure this year will be no different.
Yeah, you've got some top pedigrees. We're going to run through them in a moment, but I've also had the privilege of seeing a few of them going through their paces at Durbanville, and they really are ready to run and looking really good.
Yeah, look, we've got 16 this year. It's the first year that we're actually consigning a draft under our name, all on behalf of other clients, and they've been pre-trained, a lot of them by Glenn Cotson and some by the Backyard, which we'll go through when we break down each horse, but all going solid in the preparation and very happy. So I think come gallop time, obviously this year it's a touch different. Gallops are the morning of the sale, not the day before. So the prospective buyers will have to be on the computers looking at the gallops if they're not catching them live, and it's going to be interesting to see how it works, but very good format and excited for the sale.
Yeah, and it's an added benefit to be able to see those horses, see the action and see what you're getting.
Yeah, absolutely, always. There's always people lined up there outside the tent watching them gallop down the straight, and this year will be no different. And obviously it always helps that the buyers are a lot closer to being able to see their horses on the racetrack, because that cuts a lot of the costs of the actual training fees and boarding fees from early yearling sales. So always a favourite with buyers, the sale.
Yeah, great incentive then, get straight on. Well, let's run through your draft. We'll start with you've got lot 164. He's called Bezos. He's a wily haul.
Yeah, he's named after the guy who founded Amazon, who went through the world's most expensive divorce, and the mother's name is Costly Romance, so that's where we came up with that. But he's a really nice horse. Wiley Hall has been a bit unlucky that he's had some of his top progeny sold to Hong Kong and Mauritius in the last year, but he just does everything like an absolute soldier, this horse. He's exceptionally correct and well balanced, and he's a strong boy. He's got a great action, and he's a horse that people will be very impressed with. One of the leading lights of the draft, no doubt.
Lot 1, you're selling early in the sale, is Cuban Salsa, a coup de grace.
Yeah, we cracked some, I wish it was draws for a race, because we cracked 1, 2 and 7, which is not great for a sale, but I see the nominations for the first baby race were out this week, and there were a couple of coup de grace in there. I think they're going to be quite forward horses, although this guy does have a female line that's laden with stamina and latecomers. He puts his feet forward well on the track, so I think he'll be probably a touch early. He was a little bit unfortunate where he got a bruised hoof, hind hoof, when he came in for his preparation. And unfortunately, when your prep's only 6 weeks long, 1 or 2 weeks of no prep puts you back quite a distance. But he's improved really well in the last few weeks, and I'm sure he'll have a few potential buyers at the sale.
Yeah, looking at the horses when they were working the other day, you have got that sort of thing to take in consideration. Some are a little bit more forward than others, and some have had sort of setbacks, but basically they all are all still going along nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also got to take into fact the birth dates. A lot of late foals, and you can, we don't need to tell the seasoned buyers what to do. They know how to look at horses. And obviously with breeze ups, you've got to take into consideration the stage of their preparation, their birth dates, all that type of thing, how long they've been in training. That's why I always say to I'm coming from a buyer's point of view. This is the first time we're selling on behalf of people. We play open cards, come to us, have a chat. I'll let you know exactly what's happened with the horse, where they were, what sale they were on before, what they qualify for, indications of reserves if they've owned by people that are looking to, looking to sell at a price, etc., etc. We play open cards, so come and have a chat, and I'll let you know exactly how each horse has gone in their prep.
Lot 2 is a colt called Lucky 7. He's by 7th Rock.
Yeah, he's a really, 7th Rock can throw you a really strong, beautiful colt, and he is no different. He is from a fantastic female line, the dam line of Captain L. And last year, I pinhooked that horse Rock the Globe, and he sold through Normandy Stud for really good money. And he ended up winning the farm sales race. He ran 3rd in a Group 1, and he just about tops the Ready to Run log this year. So 7th Rock can do that to you, and this colt is uber impressive, and he will definitely have his follows in the ring. He's a relatively early foal, and he's very well grown and forward. So he could be a horse that's going for these CTS 2-year-old feature incentives, and hopefully trains on for the actual Ready to Run race.
Lot 7 is a colt by Oratorio called Chicago West. Now, we all know how well Oratorio is doing. He's in the news all the time.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He's a stallion that I particularly have done very well with, and he can throw you sometimes to the mare where you can get forward horses like Van Halen, but generally I find that they really come at their best late 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, as we've seen with horses like Mardi Gras, Divine Odyssey. They can look like they're sort of in their place, and all of a sudden the penny drops and they develop into real proper group horses. And this colt is Big City Life's half brother. Big City Life was notorious for not getting a bid in the sale and being quite a moderate looking yearling and just developing late. This colt has done exceptionally well in the last few weeks. He will continue to do even better, and he is your typical type of Oratorio horse, but he's a very good moving horse, and he's a good advert for the sire and for the dam line. He's a really nice colt, but he's going to be probably a mile, 10 furlong late coming type, but he does have class about him.
Plenty of colts in your draft. 47 is a colt, Vars Illusion by Elusive Fort.
Yeah, he was a horse that we picked up at the BSA, the latest BSA sale. So he qualifies for those incentives. He's owned by a pinhooking syndicate. And he's very similar to the Patala Palace we have later on in the sale, where he's got this beautiful frame and shape about him, and he stands very neat and classy. He's got a beautiful head, but he's still immature and he hasn't strengthened into that frame yet. And I think him and that Patala Palace, whoever buys them in 6 months' time, they're going to look at the horse and think, wow, we got this horse for half price. He's a real buyer's horse, and his mare was a tough race mare, got black type, which I really like in a mare, and he's got a beautiful action, which you'll see at the gallop. So he could be a horse that, he's not going to be a very expensive horse, but he could be a buyer's horse. Something
to look forward to for the future. Lot 64 is a filly. She's Miss Generosity, and she's by Philanthropist.
Yeah, I saw this filly yesterday, was very, very impressed. Very deep girthed horse. Philanthropist onto Vars, something that's worked really, really well. I know She's a Giver was bred on that cross, and her action is very good as well. She's a horse that we're consigning on behalf of Golden Touch, and she's here for sale. I think Philanthropists can benefit sometimes with more feminine qualities coming from the mare and some speed, and it's a very quick female line of Reflective Image and those horses of Golden Touch, very quick female line. So I think a lot of that has come through onto this filly.
Lot 71 is another Oratorio, a colt. He's called Northern Song.
Yeah, Northern Song he's a nice big strapping boy. He also qualifies Bloodstock South Africa, and we're consigning him on behalf of the Brantners at Nutfield Stud. And this is a family that this is a horse who I've had a lot of inquiries from Mauritian buyers to they're fishing about price and maybe trying to buy him and race him and take him there later on, because the family has done exceptionally well there. I know Nordic Warrior, I think he won 12, and Viking Trail is one of the better horses there. So he's a really, really impressive colt, one of the better, more impressive colts on our draft, and being by Oratorio out of a Fort Wood mare who won 7, he's just going to keep doing better and better and better. And he literally is a horse who gets better with every pace work. And he's a horse that's obviously here for sale, and I think he will do well in the sales ring, but he's going to do even better on the racecourse.
Yeah, looks an exciting prospect. Lot 92 is a filly. She's called Sovereign Rose. She's by Duke of Marmalade out of Rose Garden.
Another horse on behalf of Golden Touch. She's a medium-sized filly, which is a trait of the dam. And she is literally a replica of Duchess of Bourbon, who as a yearling 2-year-old was also medium-sized, and she's now a Winter Oaks winner. So she is the most neat, balanced, neat as a pin type of filly, beautiful, and one of those intelligent fillies that when they come out the box, they're looking into the distance all the time, and a bird flies and the ears twitch, and they always switched on, which I love to see, that intelligence in a filly. She's a brilliant mover. And obviously the dam is a half sister to Soft Falling Rain. I mean, it's a real breeder's page, and she is a high quality filly. So hopefully she gets a nice price for the Jolliffs.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that, does it? Lot 95 is a colt, Triple Jet. He's by Trippy out of Rushford John.
Yeah, he's another horse we picked up at Bloodstock South Africa sale, so he qualifies for their 60 grand win as a 2-year-old. He is out of a stakes-winning Jetmaster mare, who's the best broodmare sire in the land, and he's a Trippy as well. He's a very late foal, I think 23rd or 27th of November, and he was so immature at the sale, we managed to pick him up, and he's here for sale as well, also a Pinnock Syndicate. And a very good moving horse. He started to strengthen out. He's got really good constitution for a Trippy, and he's just going to do better and better as the months go on, being such a late foal. I think buyers must realize at this stage, when they're 2-year-olds, when you're 3 months younger than the rest of the crop, 3 months is a long time at this stage in their lives. So he's going to just keep getting better as the months go on, and Trippy, what more can we say? He's a brilliant stallion. We've done so well with him, and he is a horse who will be on shortlists of most buyers, I'm sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Lot 99 is an unnamed filly. She's by Oratoria out of Serengeti.
Yeah, this one is being prepared by the Bass Yard. She's a sister to Masai Warrior, who was a very good stayer, and this filly is being by Oratorio as well. Just going to get better and better as the weeks and months go on, and she's got that nice Oratorio shape about her. She's really good shaped filly, and her work is quite decent, so I think monitor her gallop, but smart filly. She's going to take a little bit of time with that pedigree, but I think it'll be worth it.
Yeah, Oratorio certainly stamps a good solid sort. Lot 101 is a colt, First Among Equals, it's called. It's by Give Me the Green Light out of She Drives Me Crazy.
Yeah, this is another one who was picked up at Nationals, Bloodstock South Africa qualifier. And he was a horse that I saw at the sale, and I thought, sure, he's going to do so well. I know the mare throws very nice types. The first foal won 3, Lucky Dancer, decent horse. The second foal's driving Miss Daisy, and she, at the time of the sale, had just won, and she was looking really, really smart. And then after that, she came out to get black type in multiple races. She ran a good 4th the other day in the 1400 for 3-year-old fillies here, and she's on her way to the Guineas. So, and in my opinion, this colt is the best specimen the mare's thrown. And I'm really, really happy with what he's done. He's going to keep improving. He came in, he hasn't had as much prep as the others. He was at a spelling farm a bit longer than most of our draft, but he's just starting to shine and flourish, and I think he'll put up a really good gallop. And I really, really like this colt. Give Me the Green Light is just, he's dominating the 3-year-old features, especially in the Cape. So he's a horse who's a definite candidate for Cape Summer 2-year-old races and the ready-to-run race.
107 is a Jackson colt. He's called Jackson Pollock, and he's out of Sound the Flute.
Yeah, he's obviously very closely related to Majestic Mozart, who is by Dynasty, Jackson being a son of his. Jackson also starting to do really, really well as his crops get older. He's had that good horse, pretty young thing, who's going to win a couple group races in her career, I'm sure. And obviously Majestic Mozart sold for good money at this sale, and he's gone on to do pretty well. This horse a touch immature and backward, but he's being prepped at the Basses. And I spoke to Mark the other day. I haven't seen him do good work, but he says when all those horses went to the course, he galloped very, very well. So he'll be sharp for the gallop next week, and monitor him. He's a good moving horse, and I think he's just going to get better and better.
Then 110 is a colt called Times New Roman, and he's by Futura, and Futura is going to be an exciting one to follow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this horse is close to my favorite on the draft. Futura is just... he wasn't a horse that I particularly had bias towards early on, but as the sales year has gone on, I've seen more and more nice ones, and I think I've bought 5 or 6 over the year. And this colt we decided to put on here, he's owned by a syndicate, and we're putting him on here to test the market and see how he goes for. Otherwise, the ready-to-run race is obviously an option. He's the most beautiful colt. He's a ringer for Dad. He's got that head of his, and he's from a pretty decent family. His mare ran 4th in a listed race. He's just developed into a beautiful horse. Obviously, Futura has topped the BSA ready to run sale to 1.3 million, and there's a couple that are selling for good money. So he's an exceptional moving horse, and it'll be interesting to see if people are after him or not. But I think he will be on everyone's shortlist. He's a really, really smart horse, and I think well named as well, being a font just like Futura. That one went straight over Glenn Cotson's head, but it is what it is. He's a trainer, the poor guy. But really, really nice horse, and I think probably for me, one of the top 3 in our draft, no doubt.
Yeah, he sounds to ooze quality. Lot 121 is a filly. She's called Flame Lily, and she's by Oratorio out of Tinderbox.
Yeah, another Oratorio, and once again, on behalf of Golden Touch, a half-sister to Group 1 winner Guinness. So all fantastic. The fillies we got have really got good pedigrees, and they wouldn't be out of place at any stud farm. And this filly, she looks quite forward. I think she could be, as I was referring to early on about oratorios that come to hand early or come to hand later, I'll be surprised if this filly doesn't come to hand very quickly. Glenn is waxing lyrical about her work. I haven't seen them work at this stage because I've been all over the show, but I'm going this week, and then obviously the gallops next week. But he was very, very happy with her grass prep gallop last week when you guys were out filming there. So I think she'll be on the 2-year-old trainers' shortlists.
And then we've got 135, a colt, Smile at the Sunset. He's by What a Winter out of West Donegal.
Yeah, he is a horse who's out of a family that starts off quite small. He's a medium-sized horse. He's not small by any means. It's a family that we've done pretty well with, because we bought Sea King by Judd Pott, and he ran 5th in the Group 1 2-year-old race, beaten a length by Eyes Wide Open that year, and then he went off to Mauritius. Then we bought into Saint West after he ran his first race, and he's won 2 for us, and he's developing into a really smart stayer. And they all end up to be above average size horses, but they do start off quite small. He's a medium-sized horse. He's going to get better. He's going to get bigger as well. And what I like about this guy is What a Winter has thrown a lot of forwardness into a normally stout female line. So he's a medium, very neat, compact, well-balanced, but a very good moving horse, and he's going to pop up in size, and he's going to be an impressive type of horse, and I think he's going to come to hand a lot earlier than the rest of the good performers of the family have. And he's definitely also 2-year-old ready to run type of candidate, and What a Winter is doing exceptionally well. So holding thumbs, but he's a smart colt.
Lot 141 is a colt by Patala Palace, unnamed, by Out of Wine Dark Sea.
Yeah, he's being prepared by the Basses, and as I touched on, I couple him on the tote with that Vase Illusion from earlier. He's also a very late foal, but he's a dark black horse, and he stands out in the ring. He's just got that presence about him, and when you see him, you can see he's still got the furnishing and widening to come, but he's got the perfect frape and shame about him, and he really, really moves well. So this could be another buyer's horse. He's not the type of horse you'd expect to go for big money, but Patala Palace, his statistics on horses rated 90 and above, his strike rate is phenomenal. He's done really, really well, and he unfortunately will take a bit of a dive in the next year or two, because he had really low numbers in the 2nd and 3rd crops, but he's up to, I think he's close to 110, 120 mares this year, and he's definitely a stallion to watch out for. And this colt, once again, the buyer in 3-4 months' time is going to think, wow, we got this for half price. So monitor those gallops and see what you like. Come and talk to me. I'll let you know as much as I can about their history and what they qualify for and what type of money prospective sellers are looking for, because as a buyer, I know there's nothing more frustrating than hanging your hat on a horse that comes later on and you couldn't get it because you didn't have enough money and you've missed ones earlier on, etc., etc. We play open cards, so come and chat to me at the sales and give me a ring. Everyone has my number. And we can chat.
Yeah, that's great advice and wonderful to be there for the buyers. Now, I must say, you must be really, really proud of your draft. It's a super draft on paper, a good mixture of top pedigrees and top stallions. And from what I've seen of them, the ones I've seen actually in action on the track, they're going along nicely. It's what you want. Yeah,
look, Len's done a brilliant job preparing them. He's out at that farm there. It's perfect for babies. They're really, really quiet and they can hack along. They're out at string for a long, long time. And you can see all the horses are relaxed and they run in a straight line, which helps for the breeze up. You don't want to get after them too much. We're not Australia or New Zealand where they've galloped 5-6 times on the grass before the breeze up and everyone's out with their stopwatches. So they've been there once, they'll know what to do next time. And look, the idea was always when doing this to have an elite draft for the sale. It's always hard when people come to you and ask and you don't want to knock horses off, etc. But I was quite strict and I didn't want to have 20, 25 horses, which I could have had. I wanted to keep it down in numbers and we've come up with these 16 and I'm just hoping that buyers leave happy and sellers leave happy.
Yeah, well, the plan is to sell well and you have got a super draft. I look forward to seeing you on the battlefield. They do look a lovely draft and I hope they gallop well and sell well for you. Great stuff, Justin, super draft.
Awesome, thank you very much. Cheers.
Always great to have Justin Vermaak on the show and sharing all his knowledge and all his knowledge on this wonderful draft that he's sending to the Ready to Run sale. I look forward to seeing them gallop and sell well next week.
Right, we'll close the show with our foal of the week once again. Thank you for all your submissions, and we remind you once again before closing out today as well, submit your groom of the month as well to Fiona, and we'll be able to give some fantastic G-Fox prizes away to the winning grooms. But let's go straight now into this week's foal of the week. That's a wrap from us here out at the Milton Stables. We certainly wish to see you out at Durbanville on Friday the 22nd of November. It's going to be a fantastic sale and there's certainly something for everybody. Good night.